The mission statement for the International Space Station is as follows: to be a laboratory and observatory and factory in low Earth orbit. Additionally, the International Space Station is planned to provide transportation, maintenance, and act as a staging base for possible missions to Mars, the Moon, and to asteroids. One of the main objectives of the International Space Station is to understand and protect our home planet. The goal of this objective is to create a more secure world and improve the quality of life by investing in technologies and collaborating with other agencies, industry, and academia. The other main objective is exploration capabilities. The two goals of this are to ensure the provision of space access and improve it by increasing safety, reliability, and affordability, and to extend the duration and boundaries of human spaceflight to create a new opportunity for exploration and discovery. A newer objective of the International Space Station is to conduct experiments in the fields of physics, biology, astronomy, meteorology, and human biology. When the International Space Station began its planning phase in the 1990s, it was originally meant to be named Alpha. The actual assembly of the first piece of the International Space Station began in December of 1994 and was completed in January of 1998. The first piece would be known as Zarya. Zarya was launched into orbit on November of 1998. On October of 2000, the crew was launched into orbit. They boarded Zarya on November 2, 2000. The space station is still being operated to this day. The station has been in operation for close to 20 years, and for most people, it may seem like the space station isn't going anywhere anytime soon. However, during a 2009 press conference, it was revealed that the International Space Station is only expected to be in operation until about 2020. This means that the space station may be out of commission within the next few years.
The International Space Station was launched to research and learn how humans work and live in microgravity for long periods of time. The space station was too large of a structure to be built on Earth and launched into space. The rocket large enough did not exist. To work around this problem, the International Space Station was built in parts and assembled together in space. The first piece of the space station was launched in November of 1998. Over the next 2 years, parts were added until people could actually live on the space station. The first crew arrived on November 2nd of 2000. People from all over the world have lived on the International Space Station since, and completing the building of it in 2011. The final space station weighs over 1 million pounds and has the volume of 2 jetliners. The International Space Station would cover the length of a football field, including the end zones. The International Space Station is host to many countries and space programs all over the world. The countries include the Russian Space Agency, Roscosmos, the Canadian Space Agency, the Japanese Space Agency, JAXA, and the European Space Agency. Members of the ESA include Germany, Belgium, France, Denmark, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. All these partners signed the International Space Station Agreements January 29, 1998. The International Space Station is the largest space station to be put into orbit and have the most international cooperation, and has been visited by astronauts from 18 countries and counting.
The International Space Station has many costs that carries through with it. The United States has invested $75 billion in the International Space Station. This overall cost includes all of the construction, operation, and transportation costs. The United States will continue to spend between $3 and $4 billion per year to maintain and operate the station. This cost broken down has $43 billion for construction and program costs. There is a $70.7 million cost per seat for an astronaut. The total cost to send 4 astronauts would be roughly $283 million per mission. The cost of life in relation with the International Space Station includes 7 deaths with the explosion of the Challenger and 7 deaths with the Columbia disaster. However, these 14 deaths did not occur on the International Space Station, but were incidents that happened while these 2 rockets were in flight to the International Space Station. There are many instruments used during the mission of the International Space Station. In the ISS, there are or have been multiple instruments used. There is CATS, which is the Cloud Aerosol Transport System. This instrument measures the character and worldwide distribution of tiny particles that make up haze, dust, air pollutants, and smoke. CATS is able to provide more information about global impact of pollution, smoke, and dust on Earth's climate. Another instrument used is SAGE, which is Stratospheric Aerosol and Gas Experiment. This instrument measures ozone, water vapors, and aerosols in the planet's stratosphere. The Rodent Research 6, or the RR6, examines drug compound and drug delivery systems to combat muscular breakdown in space or other times of disuse.
Data has been collected on the effects of space exposure on the human body through medical research on the space station. The data that was collected provides information that allows scientists to determine if space travel is even feasible. Additionally, studies with combustion have led to discoveries about possible ways to improve energy production on Earth. An interesting piece of technology that was used on the International Space Station is BEAM, which stands for Bigelow Expandable Activity Module. BEAM is an inflatable space habitat which was used to test the structural integrity of less expensive modules for the space station. All of the discoveries and experiments that are conducted on the space station daily help further humanity because they allow us to look into the possibility of planetary colonization. Many consider the International Space Station to be highly successful due to its discoveries and in part due to the fact that it has been in orbit for 15 plus years now. The space station has been home to many impressive scientific discoveries. However, it has been used for other applications in the real world. It has been used to help locate missing ships out in the ocean when the Coast Guard cannot find them. Additionally, the water purification system on the International Space Station has been very useful for less fortunate countries. These countries use versions of the water purification system to provide their people with a clean water source. Hopefully, the International Space Station provides us with many more important discoveries while it is still in operation.